Well, welcome to a moment of hope on this motivating Monday. I am Bridget Floyd of Developing Hope Ministries. Today's moment comes as a simple question. Are you plugged in or are you unplugged? Plugged in or unplugged? I'm reminded of an analogy that I once heard from Joyce Meyer, and it was an analogy of a lamp. To understand this analogy, I need you to go with me to this outlet on this wall. I need you to go to the wall. That's right. You see this outlet here, as there are outlets throughout this house, as there are outlets throughout your home. These outlets have been strategically placed in our homes to provide power in those areas when needed. Anything that is plugged into those outlets has the potential to produce something great. However, anything that is not plugged in is just that, its potential. The lamp standing behind me, in and of itself, it is a light giver. The power it needs to work, however, is in that wall socket because it has no power itself. It's all in that wall outlet. It only works when plugged in and turned on. What about you and I? You and I only work. We only live our best life. We only live the thrive life when and only when we are connected, when our potential is plugged in and connected to the life source, the giver of life. What happens if I try to turn that lamp on and it's not plugged in? Absolutely nothing. It does not mean, however, that there's a power shortage or that there's something wrong with the power. It only means that it's not connected, it's not plugged in. What about us? What about if we try to operate and we are not connected, we're not plugged in with the source, with the power source? I believe we would find ourselves in unnecessary places of suffering and anxiety and all of that stuff. However, think about it. That does not mean that there's not power to overcome that. It does not mean that He has not given us the power. It simply means that we have not connected to that power source for it to become real or manifested to operate in our lives. So then let's talk about that. I need you to think of this lamp as a representative of your relationship with God. See, the lamp and your relationship both have benefits attached to them, and we know that. The benefits of the lamp is light. So then what is the benefit of your relationship with God? The benefit of your relationship with God is coming into fellowship with Him, coming to know Him in an intimate way. So that light, which is the benefit of this lamp, when plugged in, turned on, the benefit is light. When we're plugged in and connected with the power source, we then become the light in the midst of this dark world. We become light in the midst of the dark world. The benefit of a relationship with God and developing that relationship is fellowship. We then become the light in the darkness. Matthew 5:14-16 says, "You are the light that shines for the world to see. You are like a city built on a hill that cannot be hidden." Verse 16 says, "In the same way, you should be light for other people. Live so that they will see the good things you do and praise your Father in heaven." In other words, live up to your potential, live out your potential. So today, my sisters and brothers, I challenge you to plug in, to connect with the power source, with the life source. Why? So that your full potential may be recognized and manifested, so that others may come to know Him all the more, may come to know Him and the resurrection power of who He is. Philippians 3:10-11 says, "I gave up all that inferior stuff so I could know Christ personally." Relationship. Experience His resurrection power, be a part in His suffering, and go all the way with Him to death itself. Fellowship. And so, I ask you again, are you plugged in or are you unplugged? No matter where you find yourself today, I pray that you're plugged in. If you're not, today is your day to plug in. Why? Because there is always hope in Jesus Christ. There is always hope. As long as you're breathing, there is always hope. Get plugged in today.